What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. It's been a while, so there's a lot of updating I gotta do, but I'm in a new shop. I'll give you a tour maybe the next video, but in this video I have a few things I gotta do to my Trailblazer to get it back on the road and running properly. It starts, idles, everything perfectly fine. I gotta do the brakes, rotors, calipers, and the power steering line on me went the other day or last week or something like that. But other than that, car is running, the truck's running fine.
Nope. Wow.
So I don't like much working with the air tools I got, but it's what I found. My impact, so I can take these lugs off and get these tires off. I'm going to use that, and I found a couple of my tools over there in the corner. A lot of my stuff is still packed, so I'm just going to throw it on a time lapse so that way you don't have to hear the air compressor coming on and off. And I'll get back on the video when I get these rims off and I have a better view of what I'm going to be working with. Alright, now with these things off, this is where the leak for my power steering is. From these wires right here, or lines. See if I can get it. Right there where the rusty top is. Right there in the center of the screen. Let's try that. Right there. These two lines right here. It's actually coming out of this one right here on the left. Right where the rubber meets the crimped metal. So that's the power steering line there. And as you can tell, these rotors aren't in the best of condition either. Brake pads look like they still have some good juice, but with these I might as well replace them. And I believe while I was driving, I noticed that the rear, I want to say it's the rear passenger side, feels like it's like locked up kind of. So I ended up buying brand new calipers for all four, and I'm gonna have to put a pause to this video until I can find my brakes and rotors. But we got it to this point where we got the tires off and we're looking at our underneath, and so far so good. Everything looks like it's easy to get to. Got the power steering lines there. I'm gonna have to look for those as well. We're back. So far I found the power steering lines. There's three different lines here, so I gotta check out which one it is that I need, which I'm thinking is this one, because look at this one has the crimped hose. and the hard line. And it looks like it could be, yeah, this looks like it could be one of the ones I need. Realistically, I just need the one high pressure. This doesn't say whether it's the high pressure or not, but it has to be the high pressure because of the crimped hose. All the other ones you see have the hoses that go straight to a hard line with a, what you call it. So this is definitely one I need, and the other ones I'm gonna have to figure out. Hopefully this is the one I need, because it looks like there's two. It looks like there's two of them that are crimped. This one and that one, but that one's the one that's leaking. So I'm gonna have to look around and see where it attaches. See. Well, let me figure this out and see if I'm even going to be able to do the power steering today. I still got to go in the back and see if I can find the brakes and rotors, because brakes and rotors aren't in my storage unit. I know these were. I'm gonna have to look in the back and see if I got my brakes and rotors here. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to order new ones and wait for those to come in, because I need to get this truck already fixed. I'm not even gonna have to order them. I'm gonna have to go to the auto parts store and pay the expensive price to get new brakes and rotors, and I'll have to do that later today. But let's see how far we get right now. You will not believe where I found this box of brakes and rotors. I'm here in front of the truck. I'm about to climb up right here to climb on so I could look down and check out those power steering lines, seeing if this is the right one I'm using. Something told me to check the box I had sitting right there, and look what I find. Front and rear rotors. These boxes here has some brake pads, so I'm going to check which one of those brake pads are the one for the truck. But also, if I can't find the brake pads here for the truck, I've already looked at the brake pads that are already on the truck, and they have a decent amount of meat on them. So if these happen not to be them, I could still use those for the meantime. These two right here are for the front of my black 4Runner. It only has front discs and it has rear drums, so that's good. Now I just gotta go in and figure out which one of these brake pads work for my truck. Okay, these are. Okay, I even found the coil packs. So extra coil packs that I had for the truck. One of these. Yeah, I think both of these are for the grain truck, because 4Runner uses pads in the front and those banana shaped ones for the back. So those have to be it. So let me get this situated, because that means I'm going to have to grab the box that I have over here, the calipers right here that go for this truck that I'm going to replace. I'm going to replace all 4 calipers because I want them all to match and be brand new. I don't want to just replace the one that's in the back and have it mismatched. It's just peace of mind for me. So let's get started on prepping that. But before I prep that, I want to make sure, I want to see what I could do with this power steering line, because realistically, whether I do the brakes, I'm still going to be struggling with this power steering, because the steering is going to be a pain in the ass if I don't do it. So at least I'll have the truck running if I have to use it. It's going to be a pain in the ass steering, but in an emergency I'll still have this I can use. But I definitely need to figure out what's going on with this, and then I'll cut the video back on. So I decided to just install the line off camera because I knew it was going to be a pain in the ass, in which it was. Such a pain in the ass to get that line in. Oh, let me show you what I ended up doing. Alright. I ended up grinding some off of this to get the line around that bolt. Cut a slit there. Cut a slit here. Push that up a little bit to get the line over that bolt. And then you have to weave it, maneuver it all the way down to where it sits. Back there. Right there, those two things. The hardest part was getting those back in place. Oh my god, the easiest way I found to do it was get it lined up, have the bolt that holds that down, have the bolt that holds it down in the middle and between those two bars, and then screw it in, and then it'll line itself up. And then I ended up weaving it through here first. So I took the whole line, I pushed the opposite end through here, pushed it through, maneuvered it underneath this plastic piece, and then I did that whole thing with this, pushed everything through, forced it down, forced it down. This is the old line, I never took it out. It's underneath it right there. Forced it down as hard as I could to try and get it somewhat in place, and then it travels underneath all that, and then it snakes back up and connects underneath here, right up there, right up there, right where my shadow is. Focus. Yes, right there. And then took the old one off, screwed that one back in. Started putting power steering fluid in. I don't have enough power steering fluid, so I need to get some more to make sure there's no leaks. But as you can see, it's very bubbly because the lines are full of air. So it's gonna look like that until all the air pockets and everything get out of the system. And then that should be good to go. Now I still gotta do the brakes and rotors. Oh, hours. I've been out here for hours just doing that one line. And I'll tell you what, if I add power steering fluid in this and that line starts leaking again, I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm gonna end up coughing up the money, taking it to the shop, and letting it be somebody else's problem, because I'm not gonna go through all that shit again. Nope. And then it's greasy as hell underneath there. Ugh, oily and greasy and all that BS. No, definitely not gonna go through that again. So hopefully the power steering line holds. So now let's get into the brakes and rotors.
You always treat me badly. You say you always start, and you're mad. Why don't you get a life and leave the blame behind? And I can't be without you. I never see you happy. You always treat me badly. You say
Front brakes are done, both sides. And before I jump onto the back, let's get back to these power steering lines. I ended up replacing both of these lines here. As you can see, that one's a little greasy, but both of those lines. But I replaced the first line because obviously it was leaking. Then I put it back together. The second line started leaking, so I put it back together. And then now they're both not leaking, but it's leaking from right here where it connects. So my thought was, you know what? I tried like 3-4 times already, and I was going to give it the JB Weld job. But I decided to give it one more chance and get the actual factory seals here. Power steering hose seal. I got 2 of them, and that's the part number. I'm going to give this one more try. If this does not work, well, back to the old drawing board. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for the 3600th time and remove those 2 hoses right there again, and then at the ends of them cap them off with those seals. So that is what I'm going to try and take care of right now. So I'm gonna once again throw on another hyperlapse because I'm not gonna bore y'all with the length of video that it's gonna take for me to remove those lines and put those damn bushings or seals in. So let's try it again. Well, it seems like the truck, as of right now, is working with me. So those new power steering seals seem to be doing their job. Let's take a look. So I sprayed it down with some parts cleaner so it could get nice and dry to see if there's any new leaks. And as you could tell, nothing's gushing out of there now. So instead of snaking this around this on the back side, I decided to just put it this way. When I put the tire back on, I'm going to turn it all the way to the passenger side to make sure that the tire doesn't rub on this. And the front will be good to go until it's time to bleed the brakes, because I think they may have felt a little soft because I was off camera. I moved the truck forward and backwards. That's how I knew the power steering line was still leaking, and the pedals felt pretty spongy. But it could also be because I haven't done the back two yet. So let's put that on hold. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put that tire back on, and then I'm going to spin the truck around so I can have room down here to work. Alright, there we go. Flipped around. Now, let's do the back. But before I forget, along with the back, I believe is this, I got the dust covers for the back. Because the ones that originally were on the vehicle rusted off, so I ripped them apart and they've been like that for a little while. But I've had these along with the brake calipers and everything, or the brakes and rotors, for a while, and it's about that time to start working on the truck. So now that I'm doing the back and I'm replacing the calipers, the brakes and the rotors, why not do the dust cover while I'm at it? Time lapse.
Huh.
Said I'm sipping on that lean, careful with my team. Sipping on that lean, careful with the cream. Sipping on that lean, careful with my team. Sipping on that lean, careful with. I said I'm sipping on that lean, careful with my team. Sipping on that lean, careful with the cream. Sipping on that lean, careful with my team. Sipping on that lean, careful with the cream.
There she goes. Good to go. All four brakes, calipers, rotors switched out. Now I'm just gonna push all the air out of the brake lines. Well, I'm gonna pump it, whatever, until it gets tight. And obviously if it's spongy, then that just means I gotta bleed them. So that's going to be it for this video. I will catch you guys on the next one. Stay tuned to J-Tuned. Peace.
Why so serious?
You gonna fix the car?
Yeah.